So what's up everybody, this is Jeff Rim and welcome to my new video. Today I'm going to do a video about a pretty basic feature, which is tuning your guitar. But this is still an important thing, because a lot of people actually requested me how to do this step by step, and I was like, why not? So more experienced people could just jump onto the minute I will link under the description for some tips and tricks, because these things could be useful to you in case you didn't know that. But in the first part of this video I will just explain the basic things about this mechanism, which is incredibly important, because you can't really start playing any song if your guitar is not properly tuned. So, experienced people, see you later. For you, all my beginner friends, I promise you that at the end of this video you will be able to tune your guitar perfectly. Believe it. Anyway, let's start with this thought. There are a lot of ways to tune a guitar, because sometimes you will need lower sounds or sometimes you will need higher sounds. For this reason the tuning could be really different. But the one who is used in most songs is the standard tuning, where from the top string, which is the tightest, to the low string, we'll have this note E, A, D, G, B and E, the sharp E. By the way, I'm not letting you hear this because I have put my guitar out of tune on purpose so that we can tune that together. If you listen to a not tuned guitar, the sound might be like this, which is really rubbish. Let's start with the basics. How to actually tune your guitar. Actually, there are a lot of different methods. The first one is this. Where did I have put? Oh, there you go. It's this little object. You can buy it in music stores and stuff like that. It's called tuning fork, and pretty much is like this. You grab it like this and you hit something with this two tops of the fork like this, and now it's vibrating, and you put on something hard so that the sound can come out. I'm gonna do this on my teeth because it's probably easier. I don't know if you have heard, the sound is really not loud, but anyway, this fork, this tuning fork, will do the A string, so the second fret. So that what you do this. Probably now you have heard that. And you can tune starting with this string with all the others. So this is a first way to tune your guitar. Another thing you can do is the guitar tuner. There are a lot of guitar tuner outside. On the internet, for example, there are two types of guitar tuner, automatic and manual. What about the manual? You pretty much go onto a site, I will let you hear, and he will so you go onto this site, you press on the website the note you want to tune. Oh my god, and one by one you go on and tune it. This is manual because you listen to the note, and with your ear you should tune with your key tuners. But there's the automatic one, which is with the microphone or with the cable. So with the microphone you pretty much play one note, the computer or the whatever, or the pedal, there are a lot of pedals who help you tune your guitar, will listen to the sound and will say, go a little bit further and a little bit down onto your tuning key in order to tune up your guitar. I think that these are really bad, especially if you use the microphone one, because with the inside the microphone is not just the note who goes in. There's the voice, there's the noise and stuff like that. So the tuning like that is not really good. If you tune it by cable, so you put the cable here like now, and you plug into the other end, it's pretty good because there are no noise. So this one is really, really good. So you can use that, you can use that, but pretty much we will be using the tuning fork method, because now I will magically change the camera objective on my top of the guitar like this. So there you go. Yeah, I know this is magic. I'm a fucking magician. Anyway, this is the part where we are going to tune our guitar. As you can see, there are 6 tuning key, 1 for string, and basically there are 2 major confirmation of tuning keys. This one is made by the Fender, and there are a lot of other guitars who shows this kind of disposition of the tuning keys, but there is the Gibson one, and some of you might know it. Should be something like this. I'm gonna let you see it. It's this. As you can see, there we have a longer top of the guitar with 6 close tuning the keys like this, which is really similar to the Gibsons. We have 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom of the top of the guitar. So the first 3, the top 3, will tune the first 3 strings, so E, A and D, and the bottom 3 will tune the sharp strings. So this is pretty much the second confirmation we can have. It's the same thing. The same thing, because the tuner keys will be always the same. Let's just take a look to how touch them. There are pretty much 2 kind of movements you can do on these tuning keys. You can tighten them up. When you tighten them up, you will see that the sound becomes more high-pitched, and you can loosen them. So you can still start to figure out how our tuning will be. What you do is to take your first note, which could be the A of the tuning fork, or it could be the notes of the guitar tuner, which is easier, but you can't actually always have a computer by your side and take the notes there. Or you can easily tune with the notes of other instruments like piano or stuff like that. But it's not really advised to take the notes of another guitar, because it could be out of tune exactly like yours. So what we do now is take this note, which is the A1, this is the second string like this. We have to tune. So if the first one is this, we want to tune the second fret, and we have this one. So we're gonna put our fingers here, we're gonna let this sound. Now that we have heard it, we will be close. I will use this one so that you can hear. This is the A. Okay, so as you can see, we have to loosen it until we get to that sound. This is pretty close. Now that we have tuned our very first string, what happens next is that we can tune the other ones, because the 5th fret of each string will be the same sound of the string down below. So now that we have tuned the second string, which is the A string, we can play the 5th fret on the A string, and this will be the D string sound. So close. Now we just have to tighten it a little bit. Like this. We have to make sure that the sound is the same. So now we have tuned our first two strings. Now we're going to the G string and we will do the exact same thing. So we play the 5th fret on the D string. And this should be the G, as you can hear, 2. If we want to tune the G, we will have to make sure that the 5th fret on the D sounds the same as the open G fret, like this. So as you can hear, we need to tighten this string up. Like this. Now let's see if it's good. It's close enough. We work on this until it's perfect. Oops. We have tuned our first 3 strings, so A, and we can see. The only difference, the only variation on the 5th fret rule is this one, between the G string and the B string, because in order to tune the B string you will have to play the 4th fret on the G string instead of the 5th one, so like this. Oh, I have put this one really out of tune, so we have to loosen this. Let's see. A little bit more. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. So now we have tuned the B string as well. Now we are going back to the rule of the 5th fret, so we are playing the 5th fret on the B and the open low E string. Now we have to tighten because we need a more high-pitched sound. So let's see. And that's close enough. Now the last string we need to tune is this one. This is the 1st fret. And since the last and the 1st fret are the same note, this is exactly what we are going to do. We're going to tune up the 1st string thanks to the last one. It's a little bit difficult because there is an octave between the one and the other, but if you can't do this, you can pretty much tune the 5th fret of the E string with your open A string, like before. So like you see, we have to go a little bit down. A little bit. Like this. And we have the same sound on the 5th fret of the E, on the 5th fret of the E and the open A string. So our guitar is now tuned. And with another trick of magic, I will let the camera come back like before. And there you go again, I'm a magician, I know. So, this was pretty much the way to tune your guitar. So, I have shown you the tighten and loosen the guitar tuning keys here. And I have shown you the use of this one, but unfortunately I don't really think you will be able to hear this sound. I can hear pretty clearly from here, but the microphone of my video camera sucks, so there's nothing I can do. But anyway, this is pretty much the way you will go on to tune your guitar. Now, a few tips and tricks. The first thing I can say to you is that your guitar will be out of tune pretty often in general, but the better are the strings, the better is the guitar material, the tuning keys material and stuff like that, the least your guitar will go out of tune. But anyway, this does not mean that you should just buy expensive guitar in order to not see your guitar out of tune. You will always try to do that. By the way, there are a few tricks to let your guitar not go out of tune so often. The first one is to change your string at least once each 3 months. It pretty much depends on how much are you playing your guitar. Obviously, the more you play the guitar, the less she will go out of tune. But on general, people who don't really make concerts or whatever should change that once each 3 months or something like this. If you play concert and you play the guitar a lot, you might have to do this once in a month or stuff like that. And anyway, in the immediate successive moment when you change your strings, your guitar will go out of tune a lot. So don't worry, you just have to give your guitar the time to stabilize with that new strings. Another tip I can give to you is that your guitar should never be in wet places. Keep her always in nice and dry places, otherwise the strings will start to suffer and they will go out of tune fast as fuck. Other things who help your guitar go out of tune are the bending and the vibrato here. But I have not mounted it because I just mount my vibrato when I need it. So I don't need it and I don't want my guitar to go out of tune that easy. The last tip I can give it to you is that when you phone a phone with your phone, there is a little bit of a boop, boop, boop before the person you are calling will pick up, and that boop is usually the A string. So if you're out of home and you need to tune your guitar, just call to your mama and say, "Mama, please don't pick up. I have to tune my guitar."
City, where the only thing that's pretty is the thought of getting out.